What up, people? My name is, man, I swear, I'm gonna get that intro down pat, y'all. My name is Mo, your friendly neighborhood music head, and today we're gonna be talking about stan culture, which is something that's been around for decades in music, but is really prevalent right now because of the internet. I'm not even gonna go into a whole long intro about this, I'm just gonna get right into it. So, today I'm talking about stans. If you don't know what stans are, it's a term attributed to overly obsessed fans. It originated from a classic rap song from Eminem titled Stan. It's about some dude who's wildly obsessed with Eminem, and he's rapping from the fan's perspective, all about how he loves the music and he progressively gets worse and worse to wanting to fall in love with Eminem. Some crazy stuff. But ever since that song, it's been attributed to what an overly obsessed fan is for tons of different genres, from pop and rock to hip hop and R&B. Obviously, obsessive fans didn't start with Eminem's song Stan. You know, the Beatles and Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd quite obviously had some die-hard stans, so to speak. A trend for these major fan bases is to have a name that's related to the artist. So, for example, Kiss has the Kiss Army, Aerosmith has the Blue Army, and Insane Clown Posse has the Juggalos, which has for decades been a major group out in middle America that the FBI deemed a gang because of its massive cult-like following out there. In 2009, Lady Gaga started her fan base, the Little Monsters. The naming of this group started the trend for pop acts to have names for the fan base. And the list goes on with how many there are. You have Justin Bieber with the Beliebers, Ariana Grande with Arianators, the One Direction with the Directioners, Chris Brown with Team Breezy, Rihanna with the Rihanna Navy. I mean, the list goes on with how many different pop and R&B acts have names now for their fan bases. What ends up happening with a lot of these fan bases is that once they get a name, they start to get toxic on the internet. Nicki Minaj infamously has the Barbs, which is well known for how toxic they can be on the internet. Anytime Nicki Minaj is beefing with another act, the Barbs will gang up together and trash whoever Nicki Minaj has problems with. It's well documented. I can bring up dozens of distasteful moments with the Barbs acting up, but nothing beats the Tracy Chapman situation right before Nicki Minaj's album release for Queen. Nicki had a song on her last album that needed a sample clearance from Tracy Chapman. Sadly, she didn't get that sample clearance. Nicki tweeted about the situation, and the Barbs went to war for her. Since Tracy doesn't have any major social medias other than an Instagram, they went on the fan pages for Tracy Chapman to destroy the comment section with threats and just disgraceful comments about Tracy. I have to read this section of one of the DMs to Tracy Chapman, because this is just gold. Hey girl, it's me again. So perhaps Nicki releases the song. How much exactly would you sue her for? Would $1 million be good? She can even do $2 million, with the shrugging hands emoji. What are we doing right now? Why are the Barbs, on behalf of Nicki Minaj, DMing Tracy Chapman? And this type of behavior isn't exclusive to Nicki Minaj and the Barbs. This happens with dozens of different stan communities. Take a look at Beyonce with the Beehive. I wouldn't be one to sit here and try to rank how awful the different stan groups are, that would be evil. But the Beehive would probably be up there in the top 3. They're so bad that I can go down probably a 7-8 year list of how awful the community has been on the internet, but I'm just going to focus on what's happened within the past 365 days. What happened in June in 2019? Remember when Beyonce and Jay-Z were at a Warriors game and they're sitting next to one of the co-owners' wives? All she did was ask Beyonce and Jay-Z what they wanted to drink, but the camera panned over when Beyonce was not included in the conversation about their drinks, so it looks like Beyonce's being cut off from the conversation. Just that little moment of Beyonce seemingly looking uncomfortable started death threats to Nicole Caron, all throughout her Instagram comments and DMs. I mean, Ramona Shelburne, the ESPN analyst, had to update everybody about how bad the situation had gotten. That's awful, man. How about last April, when Omari Hardwick was seen double kissing Beyonce? Yes, it did look awkward and a bit uncomfortable. Maybe somebody should have pulled him aside and said something. Do I think he deserved death threats? I don't really think so, but the Beehive clearly did. That previous month, Tamara Mowry on The Real shared a story about her meeting Jay-Z prior to her husband and prior to Jay-Z meeting Beyonce. She was saying how charming he was. And the Beehive took that as her sending threats at Beyonce and needing to be checked. So her entire comment section for much of her posts was just filled with the Beehive emojis. November 2018, Kid Rock discredited Beyonce, saying that she didn't have a Purple Rain-esque album or a Sweet Home Alabama-like hit. And the Beehive attacked. I kind of agree with the Beehive in this situation because Beyonce is one of the greatest we've ever seen, but I digress. I'm not defending what the Beehive was doing to his comment section. I could even talk about the toxic K-pop stans going in on very serious tweets spamming should have stanned BTS or should have stanned Luna underneath. Like Louis Tomlinson's sister passing away and them spamming these K-pop videos underneath the serious tweets. Or the rapper Cupcake, who once criticized a K-pop singer, and when she tweeted out suicidal tweets months later, all the K-pop stans came in and cheered on the fact that she was suicidal. Even under tweets about Cameron Boyce's death, the 20-year-old Disney star, they spammed these K-pop videos underneath that too. And every stan fan base has these toxic traits, sadly. J. Cole stans infantilize anyone who doesn't appreciate Cole's greatness, claiming that they lack the intelligence in order to understand it. Eminem stans criticize mumble rap fans, saying that their lyrical rap is superior to it. Nicki Minaj fans discredit any female rapper, claiming that they're just copying what Nicki did. I mean, every fan base has these type of traits. My biggest issue with stan culture is the fact that they can make the artist look bad. Like, I'm pretty sure J. Cole is just trying to mind his business and continue to make dope music, but his pretentious fans make me indulge the music with a grain of salt. I've enjoyed a decent amount of Ariana Grande's music in the past, but because of the way that her stans acted during Mac Miller's passing, I can't really listen to her music the same. It's unfair to the artist to have fans alter the way that we receive the music. Like, this is constantly happening with Beyonce and the Beehive. I see people discredit her music simply on the basis of the fans acting the way that they do. Plus, it makes the innocent fans look bad, because people will believe that every fan is behaving like the bad ones. It's the logic of the bad apple spoils the bunch. I've seen casual BTS fans try to denounce the toxicity that exists in their online community, but it's sad because they shouldn't have to do that in the first place. R&B singer Ari Lennox was asked on Twitter a couple months ago whether her fan base had a name or not. Ari replied saying that she tried having a name in the past, but she stopped because it felt cultish, which is very true because a lot of these fan bases look like cults from the outside looking in. And what's frustrating is that there's no real answer to the issue of stan culture. There is a deeper psychological conversation to be had about these fandoms. They create what are called parasocial relationships. Essentially, fans will overly obsess over a celebrity. They'll invest a lot of energy and time and, emotion into these relationships with their celebrities, but the celebrity likely doesn't even know who they are. And that can go into escapism within people, and that's a whole other video that I'll probably make in the future. I do think that one way to combat this toxicity in stan culture is to simply stop naming them in the first place, kind of like what Ari Lennox was saying, because just giving these groups a name legitimizes them and gives them the power that they believe that they really have. But also, artists should denounce this toxic behavior outwardly when they see it. I would think that if these stans hear their king or queen say what they're doing is wrong, they're much more likely to change it as opposed to somebody random on Twitter telling them that they should stop what they're doing. So to these pop and K-pop and hip-hop stans, please calm down. Because I guarantee you, whatever you're addressing about your favorite artist in the Instagram comments or your Twitter mentions or your fan clubs, I guarantee you it's not that worth it. So if you made it to the end of this video here, I appreciate you tremendously. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. If you agreed or disagreed with anything I said, comment. I'd love to talk to you guys. Follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. They're linked in the bio of this channel. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon, y'all. Peace.